Sounds like you should set this dwarf on fire, is what I'm hearing. Like, I don't think this outpost liaison should be allowed to have their job. Anyway, chat. Once again, for formality's sake, say hi, YouTube, if you like. It's time to return to Creaturekeepers, chat room. Did you miss this fort? Wish your CEO fought to the death? Why would you win? Is that what you're suggesting? Chad, if the CEO of the company you work for, assuming you work for a company with a CEO, had lived under that ruling, would you fight? Like, beat your CEO in a boxing match, get CEO's job? Would you? I kind of like my CEO for Twitch currently, so I'd say no. But I also don't think I would win because I'm not very good. That way. So this is Creaturekeepers. There is plenty of dwarves alive in this fort, and a lot of them are named. If you had a dwarf in this fort, just let me know, and I will check and see if they're still alive or if they're dead. Because this fort is very big. Only if I could immediately fire the CFO and CTO and then resign. Then you could be like Emmett Shear and have one of the greatest tweets of the last couple of years, which is CEO any's % speedrun. Complete. 58 minutes. Shoutouts to Emmett Shear. All right. You'd show up, kill the other guy, fire everybody, and take the golden parachute, file for bankruptcy? Gazoom is still, in fact, a scholar. You're not pissed. You are, in fact, alive. So, this is the fortress currently, for those of you who haven't seen it. Is this... I like how people's memory works. YouTube chat goes, is this the ball sack and boob fort? Not anymore. It was. At one point. So, this is the base layer. We can move up through the layers. All the way up to the front door, which is glorious. I really do need to clean up the front door, though. Front door is still a mess. And we haven't been invaded in multiple years. Can continue moving up and continue moving up. This is where the bedroom layers really begin. Tavern, of course. We're running kind of low on booze, actually. Continue moving up to the very top of the fort. Where we have artifacts, including most of the artifacts from the last fortress. Got a couple of those. And then, of course, police headquarters. Prison for the unfortunate. And the other unfortunate. Moreb, why are you even in prison? At least you really like being near these fine restraints. And then all the way up to the top. That's it. That's the fort. It's a high fort. Damn, yeah, exactly. We have high standards of living. Gred, are you alive? Let's see. Gred is also alive. You are very angry, though. You'd really like to practice some martial art. You don't like being in the Towers of Pulling. I'm going to remove you from the Towers of Pulling because I need consistent combat dwarves, not dwarves that could, you know, turn around and kill everybody. So, Gred, I am removing you from the military. You can go practice a craft or whatever the fuck you want. Doesn't really matter to me. We are, in fact, brewing drinks from Pine School. Can I check this? Not a lot of forbidden jobs. Sweet. And my current priority is up here, which is I've been turning my, you know, forges up here from coal-powered forges and some of my metalsmiths forges. My smelters and my metalsmiths forges. We've been turning those into lava-powered magma forges, which has very much been speeding things up. Very efficient. I'm quite a fan of this process. Because turns out, starting to run low on coal in the map. I mean, using hundreds of coal per year for 20 years apparently makes you run out of coals. Also, we've got a lot of llamas. That would look sick in Stone Sense. You know, just because people keep asking me to do that, we'll humor your statement there. I will quick save real quick, and let's open it up in Stone Sense. Let's open her up real quick in Stone Sense. It's all, yeah, it's also a deep fort. It goes as low as you can go, quite literally. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. It's taking longer than I thought it would to save. That adamantine mace. We have most of the adamantine weapons in that artifact pile, Ranger Rick, are actually from the old fort. They're mostly from Sunbirds. Also, I just have to state this. We have both Ranger Ricks in the chat right now. I would like to inform Ranger Rick that there is another Ranger Rick, and Ranger Rick, there is another Ranger Rick. So if I say Ranger Rick, I may or may not be referring to you. I'm sorry in advance. Okay, am I missing anybody else that asked about their dwarfs? Where is the imposter? I mean, has underscores. I wouldn't say that necessarily makes them an imposter. Okay, so are we putting minecarts onto this right now? Yes, okay. So let's open this up in Stone Sense. Let's see this. See if I can make it full. I'm not gonna try making it full screen because like making it full screen tends to crash it. All right. All right. Let's do this. I love the big stripe on it. That's probably the coolest bit for me. And then that's the prison right there. At the top of the gold area. This one And then it kind of just goes down to about here. I don't know why there's a llama in this room, but there is. This is a naturally formed structure, yeah. I'm actually, once I'm done with this fort, I'm going to release the save file as well as a link to a version of the save file before I started building. So you guys can have it as well. And there's also this front area. That's the bridge. Why would there not be a llama? I suppose you're right. Trading area. Defensive walkway. Also, the actual defense area where we defend the front door of the fort. This is what defends the front door of the fort. And then, you know, might as well go down too, right? Caverns. More caverns. I really wish I liked looking at Stone Sense more, but yeah, it does look pretty red. I'm not going to deny it. There's areas I can't see there. There's the Magma Sea. And this is where we've been fending off hell. Don't mind all of these Inferno Specters and Grey Haunts. There's the fun underworld. The Funderworld, shall we say. I actually really like the way the underworld looks. I don't think I've ever actually looked at the underworld before in Stone Sense. Love just the bits and pieces of everything right there. All right, well, that's it. Yeah, you can have the unadulterated Bood Mountains all onto your own, and I don't know. Do with what you will. It's not my place to say what you can and cannot do. Short answer is yes. Oh, cool. Cyclops, named Lycott, has come. A giant humanoid monster with a single eye in its forehead. Cyclops, more like Psyops. Okay, well, it's got nothing. It does have a kid who, fortunately, I haven't killed. This is Utost Yell plays the Inky. I'm just going to tell all my squads to kill it and then do literally nothing else. That's all I'm going to do. Just kill it, or at least all the ones that are easily accessible. Neither do Cyclops. The art style looks like a hobo? Oh, Habba Hotel with Z levels. Oh, so like Habba Hotel, but good? All right, so now that we've done that, let's drop down to here and see what we're doing. Okay, so I've got these guys up in here. Yeah, at this point, all that we're doing is we are reloading all of these discs. Totally fine. Totally fine. Maybe by 2055, you'll be able to get this far in a fortress. Your brain won't let you. You get to a certain point where your brain goes, oh, I should have done X differently, so you restart differently. And after that, you'll get a bit further. Well, as long as you're enjoying the game and that process of the way you like to play, then more power to you. Like, honestly, that's the main thing. Is as long as you're enjoying the process of playing the game, you're playing the game right. All right, let's take that steel minecart that's on the wrong location. Oh, 41, there it is. I'm actually going to forbid all of these. Because currently what I want them to be doing is just filling this stockpile here up. Oh, also, I forgot. I have it set so that we're getting alcohol put into these too, aren't I? Didn't I? I did that, yes. Which one of these is... Okay, you're getting the anvils. You're getting that stuff. How about you? You're full of large gold pots. Well... It's not the worst thing ever. Which is the one that's full of large pots? You. We're going to unforbid you. Now, my hope is that we end up with some pots that have alcohol in them. Because the idea is to fire some bombs at these. That is the idea. That is the idea. Although I don't even know if this is going to be possible. I need drinks plants, not plants. Drink. All right, let's see. Do the full ones end up in the right place? Now, chat room, does anybody here not know why I'm firing alcohol containers at these things? Because if anybody here doesn't know, I'll explain it. But I'm not sure if it's something people know or not. Make peeps drunk. No. Next guest. Because it's fun. Alcohol explodes. Violently. That's why. Especially when it's in a container. Some good booze then? Yes. Usually get mad and quit. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like Celeste difficulty wise. That game's too much. If I can get like a container or two of booze into this, winning. There are known knowns and there are things we know. We know that there are unknowns, and we say that there are some things we do not know, but there is also unknowns, and what we don't know, yeah, sure. All of this checks out. Where are you taking this? God damn. Hold on, did I... Here, the anvils one. Well, I mean, it's set up correctly, but they don't want to put alcohol barrels into the minecarts, apparently. This is a bloody shame. They only put empty ones. Why would anyone read that out loud? I don't know, because I committed after, like, the first couple of sentences. Mostly. I felt that I'd committed after reading the first 2 sentences. Okay, is the baddie blob still here? Baddie blob is in fact not here currently. You'll take the hit for that one? Then why'd you write it? Right thing in chat. Act surprise Pikachu when streamer read it. What? I don't understand. Trying to speed up this process a bit. Let's also put a wall down or a door down here. Actually, no, not right there. It's going to go right here. Good Lord. There's so much stuff that needs to be hauled. This is a little nutty. All right, let's get all of these dwarves unassigned. Wanted them to go equip stuff. That is a weird color goo. It's got like blue on it. How many things have you killed? Is the Forgotten Beast, Eno? Welcome back, Walnuts. And we are back in the realm of Creaturekeepers. You missed a lot. Well, different fort. But the wars have started in the other fort. Fortunately, your dwarf is still alive, although some of our dwarves did get imprisoned by the enemies, so... Dark times it is. Uh-oh. Game decided to think for a second. We'll let it think. Is your dwarf alive? I'll let you know when my frames return. Ranger, yes. Well, I'm glad to hear that Celeste taught you something positive. The only thing I learned about Celeste, or by, you know, looking into Celeste, is that I still don't like extremely difficult platformers. That's the only thing I really got out of Celeste, so, you know. I'm glad you got more out of it than I did. Man. These frames are something. I've got to unexist these demons. Removing these demons will very much help my frames, I feel. There's some booze in here. Do furniture artifacts need to be built or put on pedestals? Need? They can be done. You can do either with them. They don't need to be anything. And like furniture, like a artifact museum isn't like a strict set in stone, you only do it this one way type deal. You can do it quite literally however you want. So I totally forgot about this. But we're like brewing alcohol down here with the hopes that they will move them up into here. All right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, stuff on a pedestal can be stolen. That's a given, but I guess if you're worried about the safety of the artifacts, it's probably wiser to not put them on a pedestal. Winter entombs all of us. All of us. Last few items have moved out. Just become a peasant. Suddenly Frostpunk. Man, I wish I was able to play Frostpunk. That game looked so cool. Although, I don't know how I feel about the genre of game that Frostpunk has kind of largely pioneered, which is it looks like a city builder on the outside, but actually it's a linear story-based game and not actually a very good city builder. There's a few of them now that have all kind of walked in the footsteps of like Frostpunk, and like on paper, they're cool enough games. Like I don't hate them or anything. Unib the Metalsmith withdraws from society. I just really wish that there was more to them. This one was the Cobalt Pepper. Oh, I'm sure, but I got super motion sick from the way the camera moved in that game. It has like a 3-tiered camera movement, and it like pans up at an angle. So basically, I could have kept playing it, but I wouldn't have been able to zoom in or out at any point, which made it very annoying. And so I eventually just kind of gave up. Pretty much Rum Rusher, yeah. That's actually a really good way of putting it. Anyone makes it into your city has to get through 3 tiers of this city and go right past your military base to get to them. I mean, if you're asking, does it make a difference? It really doesn't matter at all. Dwarves don't really pay attention to artifact halls. They're more for the player, less for the dwarves. Played Ixion? Yeah, no, that's one of the more recent ones that I was trying to think of the name of, but couldn't remember it. Interesting story, but a bit short. I played the demo for it and was like, this seems kind of neat. And then I saw how long it was and that it didn't have much depth outside of the story, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I enjoy the idea of that type of game in concept, but I think what I actually like more is I like things more like BattleTech or XCOM even, where it's like, yeah, you're building a city or you're building like a thing that you're automating, but you're building it with the express purpose and end goal of turning it into like things to use in the strategy side of the game, you know what I mean? Instead of just, well, you're automating a city to push the pre-written like story forward, which doesn't really do it for me, I find. Which I actually think is a me problem and not a problem with the game, but mainly bought it because it was of the trailer and music. I mean, the thing that had me interested in Ixion was it looks like The Expanse. And the only Expanse-related video game that we have is the Expanse video game by Telltale, and I don't like Telltale games. I don't ever want to play a Telltale game. But the story is, how so? That's never a good sign when the story is, Is it, in like a poorly written way or, in a problematic way? Oh, like, I get it. When you say, I read that as like sus. Also changes thoughts. Dwarves like putting things on pedestals in general for a small positive, while the built furniture gives quality-based thoughts. Yeah, generally with the way I do artifact halls is items or things dwarves don't generally use go into the artifact hall, and then furniture just get constructed somewhere in the fort. That's usually how I do it. But yeah, okay. I understand what you mean by like the chef's kiss kind of thoughts. So slowly. Which one's this one? Oh. Got one, like, not said to fill up with anything. Well, gotta get you filled with something. I am just gonna be firing a lot of pots at them. Unfortunately, because they seem to refuse to put the ones that are full of booze into here. I guess what I'm just gonna have to do is we'll just have to take the loss on this and just kind of accept that we're just gonna be firing a bunch of pots at them for comedy. Telltale Batman was great. I find all those games so boring. I guess it kind of helps that I don't care about Batman, so I wouldn't have ever played the Batman Telltale one. But like, I played The Wolf Among Us. I played 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. I played, which one was that? I played the first season of the Game of Thrones one, which was awful. I didn't even make it through the whole season. Another Helix was founded. And I guess because of that, like, it makes it really, really, really difficult for me to enjoy those games kind of at all. Yeah, I guess they drink the beer first. Like, if I forbid it, they drink it. If I don't forbid it, they still drink it. So I give up. It's not working, Crondalicious, so it's not an interesting idea. It's an absolute failure. Let's try forbidding this again and forbid and unforbid this and see what happens. Why? I mean, if you're not you when you're hungry, eat a Snickers. Or Cub. There. Now you can Snickers at it. Mech Engineer is a game that I bought ages ago on recommendation from the developer who made Brigador. Like, it's supposedly one of his favorite games. Q, it's one of his favorite games. And so hearing him say really good things about it made me curious to try it, but I've literally never even installed it. Like, I bought it ages ago, but never even installed it. It's a bit to get into. I've heard that from a lot of people. It's like, there's no onboarding, and, like, the tutorialization is terrible. It's kind of everything that I've heard about that game. Yeah, see, then like, when you forbid it, they carry it away. So I don't know. If you forbid the alcohol, they carry it away. If you don't forbid the alcohol, you know, let's try this actually. Let's try not loading the booze in. Although I'm starting to think that they're just going to... Starting to think that they're just going to not make it... It's just not going to work regardless. So this is just for pots made of gold. So I'm going to remove the drink so they don't care about the drink. Worst case scenario, I just get a thing full of gold pots. Best case scenario, I get a thing full of gold pots, and some of them have booze in it. Yeah, no, I gotcha. I have a feeling that's a game that you just, like, die horribly and constantly. Although having alcohol down here isn't necessarily a bad thing. The dwarves are just getting boozed up. Dwarf telling a story briefly. Random blades and axe blades and whatnot getting tossed away. I could just start up another fight here, but I kind of want to wait until everything's been filled. So I think we'll let it sit. Everything goes tits up and you have more than one save. That kind of sucks. Although that was Dwarf Fortress for a really long time. Dwarf Fortress, all of the saving functions in current Dwarf Fort, except for like auto-saving, are like a temporary thing. Like none of the or a new thing, sorry, not temporary. Very few of those features were actually in older versions of the game. Like, you could save on exit, that was it. Well, if this works, I believe successfully used carts to transport booze before. We're not too sure. Is there something to ignite it at the end of the barrel? No, well, there's lava that gets fired around everywhere. But, I mean, that's the idea, is that there's just lava. Part of the problem likely is, honestly, that this stockpile is too big. I'm actually just going to cut this stockpile down to, like, a significantly smaller portion of the size. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see if this does it. But I still haven't successfully managed to get this in. They're just filling it up with empty gold pots. Which isn't optimal. See? If you could just stalk the path in with booze and fire off a single shot of lava, stuff would explode. Maybe this will work. I've already got one in here now. What's up, Pineapple? And no problem on the videos. Glad you like them. I don't look at the YouTube chat as often as I read the Twitch chat because we got 2 streams up and we have currently about 250 people watching on Twitch and, you know, 36 on the YouTube side of things. So while I greatly appreciate the fact that people watch on YouTube, I'm not looking at the chat as often. Thanks for the kind words, Pineapple. Or a flaming demon. Yeah, or also a demon made of fire. That could also help. Yeah, they've already drank half the booze in this. We'll see. We'll see if this does it. If they're able to start getting these into this, that would be fantastic. But I'm not getting my hopes up because, you know, this thing is loading up, but it's not loading up with alcohol. Let's try turning the alcohol back on the what can load into this. Juice, thanks for paying for that gift sub. Appreciate you. That's the anvils one. This is the one. We'll throw drink back into here. If they do it now. Yeah, so like they forbid the drink. But if I forbid this, then they get removed. They get carried off. Just like, okay. I'm just gonna permit like a lot more things on that one. We'll see if I can make it work. Gotta just have something wrong. What if I just allowed everything? Let's see what we get. It's just going to be whatever junk ends up in this stockpile. Let's see where you end up. Okay, that's a problem. Let's grab this stockpile. Cheers, Juice. Means a lot. Thanks for the kind words. And also, thanks for watching the streams. Happy to help. Grr. Honestly, I think the better way to do this would just be to make a booze stockpile. In the entryway to hell. That's probably the better way to do this. Like, honestly. Because they're hauling this stuff down here real quick. What if we just do that instead? Doing pot. I don't know how to respond to that question, so I will just simply say no. There we go. We'll just place that there. Much easier. And there we go. Now I just need them to start exploding. And we'll do that by firing lava into here. Chatroom, can I get a round of beers for Juice chucking out a gift sub to a Megaloaf? So Megaloafs, unwilling 6th month supported the stream, so thank you. Also, Neurokeys, I'm not sure if you were here for it, but your dwarf got kidnapped in the other fort. But yeah, no, the goal of this fortress currently is to build a structure in hell. That is what I am trying to do. Almost entirely. And we just got an artifact steel battle axe from Unib, which is pretty cool, but certainly not the coolest one we've got here. You love to brawl those, so hopefully you're giving them a hard time. Yeah, just biting them every time they come to feed you. Bite the goblin's thumb off. Serves it right. Goblin. Did any of these end up having booze in them? Nope. Oh, that's a shame. Well, this system is working well enough. Something else I've always kind of wanted to try doing would be to mostly fill up a minecart with alcohol containers, douse the minecart in lava, and then fire out the alcohol containers and the lava. But I don't know if the containers coming out of the minecart would be on fire or if they would burn up in the minecart. So there is kind of that issue with it. I'm going to do a thing real quick. I'm going to forbid all these ones at the back. I'm going to forbid these ones in the middle. And these ones up front. I just want them to get these ones off of the bridges. That's all I really want right now. Need these. Need these moved. Am I currently making more? Because I think the answer is yes. Yes, I am. So let's go to axe these jobs. Just for pause all of those currently because I don't currently need more. I need to get this stuff out because currently there's way too many jobs, which is hauling the stuff down from the surface, which isn't what I want to be doing. I want to just simply be putting the stuff that's already down here away. Also, chat room investments are open. Would like to invest your ticket. Okay. Yeah, it really does say a lot, you know. Most of this month, the average view count was roughly 180. In these last two streams, the average view count's been 145. Although today we got a bunch of raids, so shout outs to all of the lovely friends who raided us today. As crappy as January has been in a lot of ways, it's still been better than my worst month of last year. That's cool. This is going to be interesting. We pivoted from trying to make the most effective things to just simply making stuff that won't melt. I don't have to make them a second time. More axe blades coming down. It's absolutely ridiculous how many axe blades there are. Stuff's just going in there. Stuff's just going in there. Continuing to just go in there. It was a complete coincidence that we were generating a new world when you came in yesterday. Yeah. No, it is a statistical fact, though, that a much larger portion of my audience tunes in when I'm starting a new fort. So, something I kind of wanted to babble about today, because I think it's kind of interesting. Chat room, have any of you guys looked at that new, well, I guess not, it's not technically out yet, but it's not out, DC video game? The Suicide Squad killed the Justice League thing. Any of you guys looked into that at all? What? How did this door get unlocked? Did I unlock that? Because I was clicking on... I must have. Oh, did you do it? Well, I need to do a few things real quick. The first of which is I need to memorialize these two ghosts. Chat room, we've got a... Well, hold that thought on the Suicide Squad bullshit. So this is Evil Branded, which is shooting fire. This is Kavish, who's already dead. And that's Kashmir Goat. I tell you right now, Kashmir, you better run. And if you don't, I can't help you. Well, we're about to find out if our barrels thing is going to work. I know that much. Where did Kashmir go? Is Kashmir already dead? Yep. Kashmir's fighting. Greyhound kicks the miner in the head, and the injured part collapses. Well, I guess we'll find out if our stuff explodes. Barrels are on fire. Quail Brute's seriously injured. Tis, in fact, sitting in the back of this. There we go. See, they're exploding. That's the explosions. They do explode. Well, that makes me happy. But pots won't explode unless they get lava on them. I guess I fire in the hole. Yeah, literally, it was this dwarf's fault. I guarantee you this dwarf opened the door. God damn it, Nil. Just hope they don't explode the constructions. Fortunately, that's literally not possible in the game's physics engine, so I don't think we have to worry too much about that. All right, let's find out. Huh. I like how we successfully smacked this one. I love that. The flying lava strikes the quail brute in the upper body, bruises it. That's about it. I love how it like visibly shifted in space. Yep, we got the small one. The guy that killed Kashmir has been avenged, fortunately. Yeah, see, they do explode. They do. We just got another one, but I don't know if it's damaging it, really. Another one hits it. It's caught in a burst of boiling dwarven wine. Well, that's a shame. Forgotten Beast. Kakui has come. A gigantic, lidless, eyeless Gila monster. It has a square shell and it is raveling. Its lavender blush scales are small and overlapping. Beware its poison bite. Gila monster. And it is not somewhere of threat to me, so that's okay. You can just let it exist. I guess the only logical thing to do, chat, is to open the door. And then just open fire. Yeah, no, that era of the fort is more or less done. The Hellfight contestants is pretty much a concluded, no longer a going concern thing. Oh. All right. Well. Last few. Oh, they really like that door. Well, okay. Why? What's so cool about that door? What are you again? Phantom of Snow? Phantom of Snows are a mite composed of snow with a broad... it is a broad horn and it appears to be emaciated. Here we go. Can't wait to fire this first one off down here. Chat, can I get a big round of beers? What's up, Orange? Demons really want... Ooh, hey, one of them got hit. It's a pile of rear leg ash. Fiend of ash, eh? I mean, you did lose a rear leg. Oh, this one just got smacked. Here? Bell monster? Yeah, right wing is bruised. I was gonna say, this first minecart here is gonna do some damage. I mean, if I unlock this door as well. Ooh. You might want to get out of there down there, Dwarf. Not a good place to be standing. Wow, there's a lot of... Okay, you know what? We're just going to lock the doors. We're just going to lock the doors and say fire in the hole. What do you think, chat? Look at how many are sitting right there. Right there. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 16? Jesus. Okay, well. Fire. So what is in these? Got a couple discs in this one. A lot of discs in this one. We'll fire whichever one fires first. Or follow whichever one fires first, although we're in an ad break. Why does the world just have bad timing? What else can we see? What did that named one in here do? What did you do? What did you kill? Ah, you killed Edquick. And this Marksdorf needs to move. What squad are you in? Stupid bolts. Checks out. Stupid bolts, can you unstation, please? Although you're probably firing bolts, aren't you? No, you aren't even shooting. Why are you standing there then? Petrified in fear, I suppose. You think that's the white of their eyes? Ew! That would imply I punctured it. Let's get these no longer with us dwarves memorialized. Because this dwarf, Nil the Ghostly Recruit, really needs to be dealt with. All right, ads are done. So now we simply wait until someone comes and pulls this lever. There goes the first one. Fire in the hole. Right. Oh, what? Oh, man. I wasn't following it. I thought I was. Well, I do gotta say that it did quite well. There's plenty of bits of things everywhere. The point-blank minecart certainly was effective. Missed him over here. My dwarf is burning. I did tell you not to stand there, dwarf. I'm actually going to get rid of this door. All right, so let's see. What else am I going to fire out? Let's fire out this back one. Maybe this middle one, too. All right, let's see. Staring at the levers until the next one gets fired. Okay, so we found a bunch of dwarves dead, including Kashmir. The next one is firing a bunch of axe blades. This one I am following correctly. And there we go. This one didn't hit anywhere near as many things as I wanted it to. Bloody shame. Pull that lever and this lever. Who's next? Your death was epic. You all have moments of epicness. Let's do this. And why not this one and this one? Let's also forbid this for right now, so we just start filling up the stockpile in the background. All right, who's off? Who's firing off next? Gotta wait for another lever to flip. I think it's these two that are going off. We got a bunch of anvils. Chad, who do you want to follow? Couple discs or the anvils? What do you think? Discs or anvils? What do we want to follow? Anvils? All right. I'll follow this anvil in particular. I think, did we just kill a demon? Well, there was one here that's now not there anymore, so I have a feeling that we just killed a demon. Oh boy. This is gonna kind of be a problem. What goes down next? Kind of was hoping that I would have the power of the... I was kind of hoping I would have the powered minecarts to bring these back up, but apparently they're not active, so jeez. I would say that I thought they were, but clearly they weren't. That was Looney Tunes? Yeah, I'm considering one of them killed one of the demons. Like, yeah, no kidding, that was Looney Tunes. What? Devil Dawn was found dead? Dwarves, you... Hold on. Minecart. Fucking forbid all of the gold minecarts. And also the steel ones. I've just got random dwarves dying here, which is very bad. Okay, where's somebody coming to pull a lever? There we go. You're pulling a lever. Which one are you getting? This one? Fire in the hole. Oh man, I was really hoping we'd like smack all of them with that. Well, we got at least one more with that. Stuff's burning back there. God knows what. This one's fine, which is terrifying. What kind of quail brood is this? This is a fire one. Well, I guess it's time for the next one to fly out. Let's see. What do you have in you? I'll pull you, and we'll pull you. All right, so the last three all set to go. At least now they are. Follow this one. Fire. Ha! Ha! Also eat rock pot! The Steeman did a lot of pot, from what I can tell. It's also bleeding heavily. Come on. How badly did we hit it? Serrated disc hits it, tearing the muscle. Please. Quail brute rolls away from the gold pot. Well, it dodged out of the way of a bunch of golden pots. Serrated disc strikes the quail brute. I'm not going to lie. The pots flying out is very funny. Not very effective, but very funny. Oh! We've expelled its guts. There you go. Get removed from the land of the living. Demon. So, I've now got this problem. I've got a stack of demons. Okay, so we've got a gray haunt, which is a large petrosaur composed of ash. It has a pair of squat antennae and its crimson fidgets. We've got a gigantic quail with lidless eyes. Beware its webs. That's the problem one. We've got a great mite composed of snow. It has a broad horn and it appears to be emaciated. And we've got this specter of steam, which is not scary. And then lastly, we got this one, which is a fiend of ash, which is not even remotely scary. I'm going to unlock this door and see what happens. Because the quail monster is extraordinarily dangerous and could kill us all. The rest are kind of not very scary. So Aragorn, thank you very much for the brand new Prime subscription. There we go. Now the Spectre of Steam going out, which is a large koala composed of steam. Here comes the large koala. One of these dwarves appears to be ready to pull the book at him. Your ruler has arrived with a full entourage. Your thriving site is now the capital. And with continued fortune and toil, the legend of a true mountain home may yet be written. Bitch, we're way ahead of you on that. Hold on. Who's my monarch? It's the king, Lycott. So this guy was a member of the Shady Coalition. Actually is an active member of the Shady Coalition. So this was the dude that stole stuff from my previous fort. Also, apparently, Noleman and Kenichi, rest in peace, were his kids, and Tygo is related to royalty. I was curious to see if this dwarf had any acquaintances with previous dwarves I had, but no. King is going to lead the glorious charge. He's a proficient mace dwarf. I mean, I could totally put him into one of my squads. I hadn't really thought about it, if I'm being honest. Which, actually, the fact that he's a mace dwarf checks out because he did steal my mace, right? All right, well, anyway, bolts are being loosed. Dwarves charge forward. First demon falls. That's one. It's the Phantom of Snow. We'll also let the Fiend of Ash through. It's going to be a scary 2x2 fight. It's just the Quail Monster that I can't fight with. It's 1 down. 2 down. Not bad. Not bad. Nice and quick. Easy does it. We could try and fight the Quail Monster. Yeah, the Steam Demon and the Fiend of Ash I know for a fact are very weak because I've fought with them a number of times. So I'm just kind of like fighting with them because I know that they are a non-concern. Now, chat room. Here's the question. Do I fight the Quail Brute, yes or no? This is up to you guys, whether or not I fight it. Do I fight the Quail? It does shoot fire. But it's the last demon left. Oh, boy. Shout out to the dwarf who's sleeping here. Got 3 dwarves just taking naps. More than 3. Here it comes. Gotta wait for this dwarf to wake up. That's not fair. I'm also gonna need to go along and deconstruct most of these. Wake up, dwarf. It's totally fair. No, this is a really good soldier, and I'd rather not lose them. Legendary spear dwarves, they get the opportunity to take a nap, and she's a particularly noteworthy one. I mean, 7 notable kills and 4 others. I know she killed some of my dwarves at one point, but like, come on. It was probably permitted. These dwarves are gonna wake up dead. You mean not wake up? Okay, 1 gets up. 2 gets up. Come on, dwarf. Get up. 3 gets up. Sweet. Boom. These are webs. Well, Skettle Skilly didn't get the opportunity to get away anyway. Not dead yet, but is bleeding. Thirsty and in a lot of pain. Is actually getting grabbed currently by the... it's grabbing him by the wing. Dwarves are all dogpiling it. Skettle Skidly has passed. More of my dwarves are getting webbed. Bits and pieces are flying out. The Quail Monster is now named, having successfully gained a kill. The Spearmaster stabs the Quail Monster in the head with the spears, chipping the skull. Flying Steel Bolt hits it in the lower body, tearing the guts. The Militia Captain slashes the Quail Monster, fracturing the bone. The Elite Marks Dwarf strikes the Quail Monster in the right lower leg with a steel buckler, but the attack glances away. The dwarves continue the fight. We do have a dwarf directly underneath the creature right now who is, well, let's just say, terrified while in conflict. Begone fear, they say. The Elite Marks Dwarf strikes the Quail Monster in the left wing with a steel buckler, bruising the muscle. More bits and pieces flying out of the creature. Sneakly here is stressed and webbed currently. Same with Mighty Rhett. But the creature is still bleeding heavily with its guts dangling out. The dwarves continue the fight, and the creature falls. Sending all the dwarves back upstairs to go back to training. Sending a butcher shop down here to begin butchering. Removing all of this. Jumping up to the surface. Grabbing memorial slabs. Seeing if those memorials have been engraved, which they haven't yet. Good lord, what is taking you fuckers so long? Has it really been that little amount of time? My god, I think it has been. That is something. That was the dwarf who opened the door, who let the demons in the first place. This dwarf. Absolute traitor to the fortress. Got 3 different dwarves that are seriously injured. Gloves has just passed away from their injuries. Ash may also pass away from their injuries. Ash did. 3 more. We lost 4 soldiers, chat. It's one of the slowest jobs in the game, actually. Akia stole a steel crossbow. Well, that's something. Is your Marksdwarf still alive? Nope, you died like 25 minutes ago or so. You were one of the first dwarves to die when the rush of baddies came flying in. At least I'm pretty sure. Nope, nope, never mind. Here I thought I saw you die, but clearly I didn't. I don't know what I was reading then. Or was it you died in the other fort? Nah, whatever. Anyway, you're not dead. And sorry to scare you, potentially. No glorious death for you. No, not this time. Maybe next time. Sure, you'll have other opportunities for glorious death opportunity. Why is there stuff burning there? I love how that was enough for like the death spiral music to play. Literally just like a handful of soldiers dying was enough. Darius Cardrin's also been missing for a week. Same with Iteb. They must have been torched around the fringes. Poor guy. Ranger Rick. Iteb has been missing for a week? And fighting happening somewhere, is there? Since they were children, I believe that it was likely here that those deaths happened. I'm actually just going to get rid of this door. Deconstruct this wall. Double check these. Once this wall's been deconstructed, I'm actually going to just fill this in with a permanent wall. I don't want them hugging that wall anymore, even though it would speed things up. Let's also just make sure that these are all up. Yes, they are. Oh, that is true, yeah. Still feel bad for the poor dwarf. Never like to see a dwarf go haggard. Huh. Can't butcher it? Oh, that's a shame. We've had other ones of these that have been butcherable, so I had my hopes. I had my hopes, but oh well. Can't win them all. All right, next thing to do is I gotta go through and I gotta deconstruct all of this. Gotta go there and deconstruct all that. And then all of that can turn into, you know, well, they'll be rebuilt right after it, but that way, it's the only way to get these blades and whatnot out of here. I gotta say, this round, very, very, very effective. Powers of pulling. Remove units from other squads. Remove appointed officials. Remove nobility. Remove people who dislike combat. And remove the critically injured. And let's just search by need for training. And just power them all in there. Get them all training. Same with these dwarves. Same thing. Too light is the last one to be tossed in. Oh, you are butchering an animal. I understand. Lead. I cancel this job. And say, do it here. They were already butchering an animal, is the problem. It's like, I'm all right with them butchering an animal. I just want them to only butcher animals that are close by. Oh, I know why they're not butchering this one. It's because it's named. They won't butcher anything that's named. I always forget about that. Or sometimes they won't for one reason or another. Betcha that's what it is. Because they're butchering the not named one. There we go. Demon meat's back on the menu, boys. Obsidian bed. Man, could you imagine sleeping on a bed made of obsidian? I feel like it could be kind of like sleeping in a bathtub. If it's like molded to the shape of your body, there's worse thing. Can't be that bad. But it would really need to be like molded to the shape of your body for that to be tolerable. You figured they'd have a mattress? Well, there's no materials that are mattress materials in Dwarf Fortress that are used as part of making beds, so I'd say unlikely. So I don't know what's burning here, but I need to stop it, so... Well, there we go. That's a lot of Quill Brute shell, turns out. There we go. Got this working. One of my dwarves is finally doing what I need him to be doing. Excellent. I just saw that and thought there was a living gray haunt on the map, and I was very concerned for a second there. All right. Which dwarves still need to be buried? I have no idea what happened to Darius, by the way. Didn't see any combat logs associated with them. 100% organic demon soap. Isn't it like immediately, well, certainly not kosher, but I guess organic. Come to Demonic Farms for all your soap needs. It's kind of got a weird ring to it. I don't know. I don't know if this how well this marketing tactic will work, but I'm sure we could try it. Not that hard. Hasn't been that long. Been a couple days. But YouTube chat is asking, how hard is it to get back into the Creature Keepers mindset after spending many hours in a new fort? I think I'm just tired in general right now because it's been a long day. But aside from me being tired, it's fine. If it had been like more than a week, I'd probably be having a bit of a rougher time. But it hasn't actually been that long. I'm trying to figure out where this miasma is coming from. Okay, maybe it's going away, potentially. Ah, it's just all of these rotten, mutilated monsters is the issue. I have to, like, remind myself to play on a much bigger scale. And the frame rate's kind of low, which is a bit annoying. But aside from that, it's not so bad. It's about the same, really. Still the same game, I guess. And I guess at the end of the day, as long as it's still the same game, it's not so bad. Kind of wish I had an easy way of disposing of items. Like, I'm looking at this right there and kind of going, I wonder if I could make the thing that goes straight through down into this lava here, but maybe not. There's lava right here, lava right there, supposedly. Because my trash disposal is so far away right now. It's a little ridiculous. I'm not sure how this gold cabinet ended up here. But okay. You are off to bed. We'll see you later, DS. Take care of yourself, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's about the same as like swapping any game. It takes like a couple minutes of calibration, and once you kind of get through that couple minutes of calibration, it gets a lot easier pretty quick. That's about all it really is. Okay, well, since I'm not putting alcohol into the trap anymore, might as well just get rid of these. Because I really don't need these down here now. This is kind of just a waste of dwarf power. They've done some fun changes to Angband since you last played. How long has it been since you played Angband? Yeah, I'm just gonna remove the pots from this. As much fun as this whole process was, yeah, no, let's just get rid of this. It's just kind of a waste of resources at this point. Although, this should still take anvils. I'll see you too, Kazoom. Been about 10 years? Oh boy. We're just gonna let the game run because not all that much is going on right now. We're mostly just reloading minecarts. So I've got a bunch of full steel minecarts up here, so I might as well just jump up here. And get this spot worked on. Route 41. We take this. Place another one over here. Mine that down. We're going to jump back down to here. Yeah, I don't know. Once I kind of remember where everything is set up, it gets pretty easy. Just kind of wrap my head around the differences in the between the different forts. Like it's not so bad. It's mostly just a couple of minutes of just like, all right, what was where, what do I put here, what do I put there, and then once you get past that, it's just Dwarf Fortress at that point. It's just Dwarf Fortress at that point. Okay, something I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this. See this? It's right there. I'm going to dig out 3 lines. We're gonna dig basically up to here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a retracting drawbridge. And that retracting drawbridge is gonna be connected to a lever. And that retracting drawbridge is going to become my trash dump. Basically, I'm going to get rid of the upper one. And what's going to happen is they are going to use this as a primary form of trash disposal because it's taking too goddamn long to transport all that stuff all the way back up to the surface. And right here, I'm going to make a, well, maybe not right there. I maybe make one like up here? Yeah, I could. Okay, so up here, this is going to be a corpse/body pile. So I'll fill this up, and then from there, I'll put it all here, and then I will pull a lever, and it'll go thump, and I'll disappear down into the lava. Easy peasy. And that's how we're going to dispose of trash. Down here going. Because this currently isn't working. Although the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start building a lever. Down here. So just because YouTube chat brought it up. And stating that they find it hard to go back to older forts. Chat, do you ever go back to old forts that you've played in for a while, or when you're done with the fort, are you just kind of done with the fort? Because this has me kind of curious. You had no idea where anything was? That's a pretty long period of time, though. Like, me going back to a fortress after a year or two, yeah, I couldn't do it. But, like, 2-3 weeks, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, I've had several pretty long-term forts that I've taken, like, a month off of and come back to. But I'm not talking about, like, retiring and reclaiming. I mean, like, just put the save file aside, played other forts, and came back. Often, if I put a fort down, it's rare that I'll go back and completely, like, Machine Waters is a good example. I fully planned on going back, and I never did. When a child has slipped into depression, that child's been in and out of depression for a while anyway. Unrepairable? If you're done with a fort, you've done something unrepairable. Right. I mean, that makes sense. I kind of thought this fort was going to be in a state like that is when I saw that demon coming through here. But fortunately, my doors weren't blocked or anything. If they were, this may have actually been an unsavable fort. This is going to be a... You know, actually, let's do it this way. Stick to it. It's granite. Also chuck a door in here. This up here becomes refuse and body pile. And that's it. Everything else is going to go into there. And I'm going to go and find that dump zone that I have. Which I'm pretty sure... Actually, can't even remember where it is. Where did I put my trash pile? Question of the century. There it is. Actually, just gonna lock both these doors. And get rid of this garbage dump. Although, actually, I can leave this unlocked, because some bodies can go into there. That's okay. So many things need to be hauled. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna forbid all these. And it's time to just start pausing jobs. It's time to start pausing jobs I don't immediately need. That's been dealt with. This can get filled in. You generally move on from old forts, but you like to revisit them sometimes to check in on old designs. Current fort accidentally broke into hell. You lost 25 doors before you could shut the door. You're about to surrender it, but decided to keep going and try and retake the bottom half. We'll see how it goes. Stumbling into hell on accident is one of the most glorious things that can happen in Dwarf Fortress, and I love it whenever it happens. But it has to, like, genuinely be by accident. Like, I'm not gonna settle for no, like, pretending to go to hell, you know? You have to actually end up in hell by accident. If you can end up in hell by accident, god damn, is it memorable. I'm gonna remove all these dump jobs, but hope that they just all stuff up there. Let's just wait for this to be finished first. Because it appears that they will just haul it all right there, which is what I need them to do. But yeah, I think for me, because playing this game is my job to a degree, I think that there's a lot of things that I'm not as concerned with as some people likely are. You know, I'm not bothered by jumping back to an old fort. It's really not something that even remotely bothers me. Get rid of that. This. There we go. This is actively going to speed things up, probably. It's like, so I don't care if it takes me a little bit to get back into a fort. I also don't care, like, if I play a fort for a while and then I come back and I immediately screw up and, like, cause a bunch of dwarves to die, that's not going to bother me either. Like, it's not going to, like, hurt my gameplay if I lose a bunch of dwarves all of a sudden because I forgot where something was. To me, that's just comedy. So there's also kind of that I'm just kind of reserved to the fact that sometimes I'm just going to lose a lot of dwarves, and that's okay. I don't know if you're really in that kind of feeling camp chat room, but like if I accidentally end up losing some dwarves for some silly reason or another, that's okay. Like I will be fine generally. You tend to wipe the entire world after you lose a single time? That's a big shame, Proxy. I don't know how you could play that way. Because, like, one of the coolest parts about Dwarf Fortress is the power in its persistent worlds. And how interesting and varied they can be. So I feel like if you are not taking advantage of the awesomeness of the persistence of the worlds, then you're missing out on a lot of kind of the more contextual storytelling, I guess, like the content that you can get out of the game. Most of the forts you made are just you had dumb mistakes or got attacked by a dragon. I get you. Yeah. Although, if you got attacked by a dragon, count yourself lucky. That's a rare way to die. Like, I mean, just the fact that if you make a new fortress in the same world as part of the same faction in the general same vicinity proxy, half your dwarves, if they didn't die, will just show up as migrants. Like, you'll just get dozens of you'll recognize the dwarves, they'll show up, and they will walk in and join you. And there's something really cool about that. Not a lot of games let you do things like that. So I think you're kind of like cheating yourself is maybe the wrong word, but like costing yourself some pretty cool procedural storytelling opportunities if you are not taking advantage of such things. You know what? What if I just did this? And then just put a drawbridge at the end of this. So they have a direct line to the body pile and also a direct line to bring stuff up. I think this is what we're going to do. It's trying to speed this process up. So they're not all like stuck in these hallways. Let's throw some boulders down. Now, if that door gets open somehow, this time we're screwed. Tell you that. And that's not even a joke. That's just the truth. Suicide Squad. It looks like Agents of Mayhem. Like, I was staring at that game last night while I was editing the chat I had with Putnam. Which turned into generating worlds with Putnam. Which I might also edit a second chunk of that and call it, like, Legends with Putnam. Because I didn't include any of that bit. Anyway. But it looks like Agents of Mayhem. Like, the way the characters move looks like Agents of Mayhem. The way the camera moves looks like Agents of Mayhem. The color palette reminds me of Agents of Mayhem. It's crazy how much that game reminds me of Agents of Mayhem. Which is also a game that people in chat are probably sitting there going like, what the fuck's an Agents of Mayhem? And you know what? Fair response. Perfectly legitimate and fair response. Yeah, that would be the sequel, obviously. Sentient. Clearly, that would be the sequel. Legends with Putnam. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say, is that, like, that and I wanted to complain that, once again, Steam probably should change their pre-order policy. It's like, if you're going to just give people access to a video game, yeah, I don't know, 2 weeks early, let's just say, in exchange for pre-order money, aren't they just, like, negating... Like, I might be, like, simplifying it a bit here, but aren't they kind of just, like, negating Steam's review system? Like, the whole existence of it? Like, if you allow people to completely ignore the review system, is that not what they're doing? Like, just ignoring the fact that they have reviews? Because you can't leave a Steam review until the game's out. So if you give people early access to a game before the review period... Uh-oh. Check for heat. What devilry is this? Necrid Plays is on fire. But I found a treasure of the gods. Uluka dat. Sorry about that, Necrid Plays. We found another treasure of the gods. Look at this! It's a large faceted metal headscarf and a twinkling metal figurine of a forgotten beast. Wow. Uh-oh. We've unlocked the Echo of a Divine Forgotten Retribution. Well, shitballs. What is this? This is a champion of Deformity Maceman. It's a large eyeless humanoid. It has 4 stubby horns. Check, can I get a round of beers for good luck? It has 4 stubby horns, and it bellows and cheers without pause. Its dark tan skin is leathery. It was created by the human god Messianic, and is part with chaos, deformity, and war. And it is wielding what exactly? Tall, pockmarked metal stuff. My military is all at the other end of the map. But I can tell him to kill it. And it appears that Potato Godzilla is no longer with us, or is about to be no longer with us, and neither is Necrid Plays. Rest in peace, Necrid, and Potato Godzilla is bleeding profusely while being bashed with the pockmarked metal mace. The other dwarves are mining through, and they can hear the screams on the other side. In great confusion, Dr. Funk continues digging. This one I will erase, though. Dr. Funk comes around the corner, not realizing what's happening. Screams and runs, terrified in the midst of conflict. Champion Deformity kicks the miner in the left foot, bruising the muscle through the silk trousers. Miner runs. Champion of Deformity pops up, is now called Grandmasters after killing Potato Godzilla. Moves up and is now fighting with Rigoth the Mechanic. Somebody dropped their brains. Shem was carrying a brain and dropped his brains. I mean, like, do you ever get so startled by something, Chad, that you drop your brain? The creature jumps up into the middle of the tavern, surrounded by children and other dwarves. The dwarves begin fighting the creature. The creature currently is actually getting hit, but he's getting blocked. Appears that the glassmaker is giving the dwarf a run for, or the creature a run for its money. JJ is looking at there, terrified while in conflict, running away in fear, probably the wise thing to do. Eustace, the absolute hero of a dwarf, defending against the champion of deformity. I'm gonna just tell my military to all stand right here. It's probably not gonna move from here too much. Eustace is winded and having trouble breathing. Same with Tun. Captain Amazing sees this and runs away in fear, which is probably the right thing to do. Tun here chases the creature and actually... what do you say? Tun the weapon says, Water Lyman, the foggy cyclone of swords, is really dead. I'm not feeling sad right now. This dwarf's friend died, Lyman, Water Lyman, who was also possibly the worst tantruming dwarf in this fort. His creatures now kill the Water Lyman, the Cyclone of Swords, as well as Potato Godzilla and Rigoth, and has now just gained another kill. Could I be doing more to keep these dwarves alive? Certainly. But struggle is part of the fun at this point. Blood is spreading. My dwarves are bleeding. The creature's healthy. It's now called Grandmasters the Frothy, champion of deformity. It's chasing a child. Dwarves are dropping their stuff and running in fear. Thob, Mincot, and Cleo running away from the creature. Where's my nearest squatty? They're on layer -4. Oh boy, they got a long way to go. Oh boy, well. They're trying. Creature has the dwarves trapped. Thob is taking hits. It appears the child Mincod is also getting ripped to shreds. We've got Lytas, the dwarven child, as well, getting ripped to shreds. Creatures chasing the dwarves around in circles. Dwarves screaming. Cleo running in fear. Zombie giant sponge is about to become, well, a dead zombie giant sponge. Bleeding, seriously injured. Overexerted. The creature continuing to take them down left and right. It's up to 12 kills against our dwarves. Standing there over its most recent kill. Letting out a cry. Military has been informed. We need help down in the hold. What is this joy I found? This is a eyeless humanoid. 4 stubby horns, and it bellows and cheers without pause, letting out screams, as I said. It is made by the human god. Messianic is part with chaos, deformity, and war. Currently fighting with Fallout Rain. Fallout Rain did not have an opportunity to even fight back. Gred, 18, the Mace Dwarf, is the first military dwarf to have the opportunity to fight the thing head-on-hand. Runs directly towards the creature. The weaponsmith, the Mace Dwarf misses the champion of deformity. Gred is now in combat. Bits and pieces flying out everywhere. Its blood is going every which way. It is now bleeding. Bolts being loosed. The creature is taking as much damage as my dwarves can reasonably give it, and it keels over pretty quickly. And it appears our hero is Valleys, Slayer of Grandmasters, the frothy champion of deformity. 147. That's what I get for digging a shortcut. Fortunately, we do have tons of tombs, so. Get the military training again. All right. While they start cleaning up and continue working on that, I'm going to go all the way up. Maybe not all the way up. Most of the way up. We're going to go all the way up to about here. This is going to be the king's quarters. Shortcut to hell. That wasn't in the plans, but like that's the way it ended up happening. Okay, so this right here is going to get linked to this. And I can set everything up here to be dumped. The other thing I'm going to do is jump up to the surface. We're going to continue spreading around our little slabs. Because turns out ghosts, big danger. Big, big danger. Burial, -C. 44 new tombs. Make sure the dwarves are taking stuff to tombs. Yep, we are. Good, good, good. And nobility, king. That and that. Also this. Also that. All right. Let's jump up and see where they're digging. Assuming they're digging. Yes, they are. What do I mean? Ghosts are a threat? Ghosts can unlock locked doors. And the last wave of demons was actually opened by a ghost. The ghost didn't let that demon in. That was me mining through that. But the last wave of demons we had to fight was actually released by a ghost. So ghosts are a huge threat right now. In fact, I would say ghosts are probably one of the biggest threats right now. Also, they're like one of the biggest mood destabilizers in the game. Oh, what a direction to go dig. I like how they all started digging on the outside. But yeah, if you've never like lost stuff to ghosts horribly, well, I guess you've never lived. You never truly know if you're alive or not when playing Dwarf Fortress until you've lost a fortress because a ghost decided to do something stupid. That's how you know that you've truly played Dwarf Fort. Yeah, ghosts can pull levers, they can topple buildings, they can unlock doors. They can just kill dwarves. So, yeah, no, ghosts are a giant threat currently. Because right now, the only thing protecting me from the fires of the underworld is a single, individual door. Yep, destroying tombs releases ghosts. So I guess ghosts could also technically, like, topple tombs and release more of them. Not that I've ever seen them do that, though, specifically. Sounds like real life. What, ghosts? Not sure what part of real life that sounds like to you, but... You know, it's kind of funny. We've had this conversation before, but I just think it's a funny question, so I'm going to ask it again. What do you think would have a bigger effect on our current society, chat room? Aliens appearing and saying, we're in charge now, give up all of your governments, or ghosts being real? Basically just like unequivocal, 100% proof, guaranteed, scientifically proven that ghosts exist. That's it. Or aliens suddenly showing up and saying, hey, we're taking over. Because to me, I'm kind of convinced that, like, ghosts being real would have a bigger effect than aliens. At least to me. Because I know aliens are real. They exist. It's just, I don't expect them to show up and be like, hey, your shit's ours now? What was the question? What would have a bigger effect on our current society? Aliens showing up and taking over, assumingly peacefully, or peacefully to a point, or ghosts being real? Doesn't that also count for aliens? Like, if aliens showed up, we could probably prove most religions wrong. Ghosts being real, I mean, I don't know if that necessarily proves or denies religions wrong. Depends on the religion. Also, we're on a brief ad break, but I'm just doing construction stuff. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's like the issue with a lot of like arguing with religious people in a lot of cases is like evidence doesn't matter. You thought you saw a ghost once? I too have been super sleep deprived and walking around outside and like hallucinated. You would prefer ghosts are real? The illusion of aliens to control people. That's a direction I've never seen people go from, like, that whole thing, but... All the aliens fly in with pictures of Jesus. I mean, that would be pretty funny, actually. I mean, the same goes for aliens. The thing is, I'm not saying that aliens are going to show up and like blow us up. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting that aliens show up and say, "We're in charge now. All of your leaders are now just puppets." Because frankly, at this point in my life, I would have more faith in like aliens that have the power to travel here via like space travel than the people in charge of our planet right now. I don't know. That's aren't our leaders already puppets? You're okay. Congratulations, you've made this question no longer fun. I give up. It's a fun question, and you guys are not allowing it to be a fun question. And if that's your determination for the evening, I will simply play Dwarf Fortress. Forget I asked. I'm sorry. And also, I don't need to go to work tomorrow. I work from home. I don't have to go anywhere to work. No fun allowed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I really, really hate this pop-up. I've disabled it like 4 times in the last 2 days. I don't know what DF Hack keeps doing with its updates, but it keeps resetting my settings. Oh my god, if it wasn't for those search filters, I would have completely disabled DF Hack at this point. Jesus Christ, stupid piece of software. Gotta head to bed. Have a good sleep. Snoozles. Nights. You on the flip? Love slap the nearest flat earther and say idiot and then leave. I don't think aliens would be Redditors. But, I mean, it would be pretty funny. Certainly a bit from like a Seth Rogen movie. If you guys had sleep paralysis, yeah, well. They are Redditors. As a Redditor, I'm slightly offended by this statement. But anyway, like I said, this conversation ceased being fun a couple minutes ago, so you guys can babble about it if you like, but I give up having input. Last time we had this conversation, it was an entertaining thought experiment, and you guys have just made it bleh. So. I think you've missed the entire point of the question to begin with, Obsdark. So. Yep. Yeah, I'm just like, yep, the conversation ceased being fun, Shreddish. Have you seen a duck? I have a question for you, Gesm. Have you seen a duck's penis? Obviously the horses. Ducks in general are pretty terrifying, yeah. I saw a duck walk up to the side of like a creek, pick up a fish, like peck it to death, and then eat it. So do not Google mallard penis. Just do not do that. You will regret greatly. Nothing is scary about geese. We've been over this a million times. Geese are scary if you have a pet dog or if you have small children. If you are a normal human being adult, geese are totally fine. Very chill animals. I love how there's just like a dead llama down here. Ah, you've traveled far from home here, llama. Haven't you? You connected? Yes. Who said that they're mine? I said that they're lovely animals. Since when are they mine, Ranger Rick? Where'd you get this from? Mm-hmm. Do I own everything in Canada? Because if so, I would like to submit an order of my property to the local liquor store. And the dispensary, for that matter. Pretty sure currently they are your geese because they're in your yard. Meaning by general rules of proximity, they're yours. You deal with them. I would also recommend getting rid of your yard. That would help. Then they can just have the land that's around your house. Geese were around before you. Meaning, do you have any rights to their land? Mm-hmm. And I'm rebuttaling. And clearly you had no rebuttal. So it can't have been that low-hanging of a fruit. They're a myth/legend in all human history you wish or would like to be real. That's not true. Read him. Like, at all. Now, is this like an actually be real or just like a fun thing? Because Hollow Earth theory is hysterical. Would be neat if that was real, but do I actually want that to be real? No, not really. But as like a science fiction concept to think about, it's kind of fun. You know, there was a law that was very briefly changed, stating that it was like a loophole in the law around here in one of the neighboring cities to me, basically legalizing the hunting of wild birds in public parks. And some people took them a bit too literally and started like walking out and like breaking the necks of geese in public and like literally catching ducks and doing what you're saying. And they all got fined a fuckload of money, and one of them did 30 days in prison. So I think what you're saying is wrong. Now, yeah, well, even with the license, you still can't legally do it in a public park here. There's very specific plots of land where you're allowed to hunt for things. I'm still thinking about this myths thing. Not really. I can't really think of anything. Like, just rattling through it in my brain, like, I honestly am not coming to anything. Nothing's really popping in there. Clearly not. I also do my damnedest to ignore the existence of most memes, because I find they tend to just make my brain hurt. Like, it makes me feel like I'm getting dumber kind of way. So, genuinely, when I see people throwing around memes, I just kind of shut them off in my brain and ignore them. And you know what? My life's been better for it. Every now and again, someone in chat will be like, ah, he doesn't know the thing. And you know what? That's okay. My life's better off for it. Maybe yours would be too. Oh, sure. Something like the Loch Ness being real. I would be more okay if the Loch Ness was real and like they found a like a fossil or something. But I don't know. Maybe like the Megalodon being real, because there's absolutely no situation that I would like run into issues with it. And by it being real, I mean not like it was real at some point, but like still was real. That'd be kind of cool. Dragons being real at one point, but being long extinct would be neat. I wouldn't want dragons to currently be real. City of Atlantis? Isn't the City of Atlantis like kind of sort of possibly maybe a real thing actually? Asterisk. Like I'm pretty sure I was reading a thing that like there's a bunch of like ancient cities that could theoretically be the one that people think is Atlantis or could have been Atlantis, but like we don't know. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. That could be fun. I will say this. I kind of hate all of the ancient aliens theories, so I kind of hope that's never a thing. Because it just discounts human intelligence. And that's actually kind of a thing that I think bothers me about a lot of myths. Is they're very diminishing of human intelligence. Like, you know, aliens built the pyramids or whatever the fuck. All that does is it's just completely devaluing human creativity. And human creativity is one of the greatest things that we have as a species. In fact, it's like, I would say, maybe the one thing we really got is that we're kind of smart. And it irks me that so many people are very quick to just remove that as a possibility when it comes to a lot of things. And that I think really sucks. And, like, point at a specific star. Don't forget that bit, Death Bagel. Don't forget that bit. I'll say this. If there was an Atlantis, it certainly didn't have, like, jets or, like, modern-day technology. It's not like Disney's Atlantis, which, by the way, is probably my favorite Disney movie. Now I'm suddenly questioning if that's even a Disney movie. Is that a Disney movie? I'm pretty sure that's a Disney movie, right? Anyway, beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard. Your four basic food groups. But anyway, that like it's not. It wouldn't have been anything like that movie, right? Actually, here's one. I wish that the treasure on Oak Island was real, so that they would stop making TV like fucking episodes of that goddamn TV show. There you go. I found one. I wish that myth was real so that they'd find the fucking treasure and stop making episodes of that fucking TV show. There we go. I finally found one. Like, Jesus Christ. I don't need, like, I never watch cable television anymore, so it's kind of a non-issue, but it's so fucking annoying to just, like, turn on the TV and just see an ad for Mysteries of Oak Island Season 72. Because how many of those fucking things have they made? 20-year-old necromancer has sired 4 children with the queen and done nothing else aside from haul. What a hard-working duder. I respect it. So there you go. That's a myth I wish was real. The problem is like the issue that I have with this question is there are so many myths out there that could be cool in theory, but would completely change the fabric of our society in a way that I wouldn't want. I'll be honest with you, I've literally never, with the exception of like staying in places for like a period of time, I've never myself paid for cable. However, I used to have a job, and part of that job, part of that job was I had to clean the break room and the lobby. And at night, both of those places had TVs in them that were literally impossible to turn off. And they were just left on History Channel all the goddamn time. So the amount of like Pawn Stars and Mysteries of Oak Island and like American Pickers and I guess technically Canadian Pickers as well, that one, like the storage selling show, not the good one, the bad one. Yeah. Ancient Aliens. I also grew up without cable. It's awful. Storage Wars is what was on a different channel. It's like a TLC show here, I think. I could be wrong, but Storage Wars wasn't on that one. I did see Storage Wars at my parents' house, or at my grandparents' house though, my grandma's house. Words. But yes, I have seen Storage Wars, but no, it wasn't Storage Wars because Storage Wars wasn't on that TV channel. It was on a different channel. Reality TV is horrible, except for when it's the greatest thing in the universe and there's like no in between. It's either unwatchable dog shit that is like insufferably horrible and unpleasant, or it is the greatest thing on earth and there is no in between. And every now and again, I will stumble upon a reality TV show or a season of reality TV that is the greatest thing on earth, and it makes me really happy when I do find those. Storage Wars is on Annie. Okay, well, there you go. Also not a channel we had at that job. I'll be honest with you, I've seen the hashtag MILF Manor a couple of times. I have no idea what that show actually is. I assume it's a dating show. Remember how I said that people make questions not fun? Ilmirin? Actually, I mean, Ice Road Truckers ain't bad. When it comes to, like, reality TV. I'm trying to think of other reality TV shows that ain't bad. I remember enjoying watching Survivor when I was a lot younger at my grandma's house. Never seen Outback Truckers. I'm assuming that is, like, Australian trucking. It's pretty Canadian, but, Highway Through Hell is pretty good, or was pretty good when I watched it back in the day. At that same job. just, I like it because I know exactly where that highway is, and I used to go camping up there all the time. Also, another one that I quite like is, I think, Forged in Fire. I think is the name of it. And it literally is just a bunch of amateur blacksmiths walk into a shitty garage with a bunch of scrap metal pile in the middle of the garage, and they say, "Make a sword. You have 4 hours. Go." That's a pretty good show. It's all just fake bullshit reality TV, but like, I don't know, there's something kind of cool about watching a guy make a knife out of a lawnmower, you know? Like, it's pretty cool. Australian Truck is just IRL Mad Max. I mean, I would rather just watch Mad Max if given the option, to be honest. Junkyard Wars is like, it's a crime that show doesn't exist anymore. I had a whole season of that taped on VHS growing up, which I taped at my cousin's house. I do like cooking reality TV. Most conspiracy theories can be boiled down to people with severe mental health disorders and are usually just really sad. Like, having stared at way too many conspiracy theories in my life, it's just like... It's just people that really want a sense of belonging and community. Being the smart one. And Fragrance meets with the human keeper of the seal, and they say there's much to discuss. Noble Dwarf. I've never watched The Great British Bake Off. We'll say that. They used to be way funnier to read. You know why they used to be way funnier to read? Or at least my theory as to why, because I've thought about this way too much. It's that there's always been crazy people who believe in fringe theories, right? But the problem with crazy people who believe in fringe theories is if they find other crazy people who believe in similar theories, they can make a group of crazy people that believe the same theory, right? And the easier it gets for those people to find more people that think the same way, the bigger the problem gets. And then people actually start getting hurt. So instead of just being a few crazy people that believe something crazy, it starts becoming a rather large group of people that think of something crazy. And the internet has made it very, very easy to, one, get sucked into parts of the internet where people will tell you stuff that's actually just crazy. And two, makes it way easier for crazy people to find like-minded crazy people. So what used to be a fun thing to stumble upon and be like, really? People thought this? When you dig into it now, it just turns into, wow, a lot of people think this. And that's no fun. Because conspiracy theories are only fun until they get real. And when they get real and people get hurt, it stops being fun really quick. You know, I think that Chopped is one of the few, like, reality TV shows where I like it more the more I learn about the production of it. Like, around... Oh, wow, that's a lot of pigtail gloves I'm going to be selling that are good. Around the time I learned that the way Chopped is filmed is they take the... They wow, that's... Jesus, that's expensive. 40,000? Jeez. They take the people, they give them the ingredients... They tell them the challenge. They tell them to cook the thing. They cook the thing. Then, once they're done cooking the thing, the people all leave and film their interviews. This process takes a couple hours. While they're filming their interviews, the judges taste the food and discuss and figure out who the winner is and who's going to get booted. Then... Here's the catch. When they were cooking the food, they didn't make one portion. They actually make 2 portions. Okay? So one has been tasted, tried, judged, tossed out. The second one is then brought up front, which has been sitting out cold for hours. When they reconvene after lunch or whatever to do the filming, the actual judging portion is 100% fake and acting. They already know who's won in some cases, depending on the season, because in certain seasons, they actually tell them in advance who's won and whether or not they're moving on. They're told to act it up, and also the food that the judges are eating is stone fucking cold. And it makes the show better to me. I don't know why. I like it more after learning that. It's just, there's something about, like, you're eating cold food, it tastes awful. That's very fun. Especially when there's, like, milk involved or if it's, like, a dessert. Oh, it's fucking funny to me. I mean, I miss the era of, like, conspiracy theories and cults on the internet when me and a friend could sit there and look at, like, Heaven's Gate's website and, like, laugh. Right? But, like, we're no longer in that era of the internet. I mean, Alex Jones has a freaking game on Steam. Like, take that guy as seriously or not as seriously as you want, but the era of conspiracy theories that we live in is just a matter of how sad are you willing to make yourself right now. They were a trip. Their website's still up. I check it every 6 months or so. I think. Let me double check. Hold on. I won't actually open it, but... I can confirm their website is in fact still up. So don't drink the Kool-Aid. It's an actual suicide cult and everybody's dead. And the one guy, there was 2 people who didn't off themselves, and their job was to keep the website up and wait for the return. And they're the ones supposedly still maintaining the website. You watch like all of their videos, it was so insane. Yep. I think I know who won in the cult, to be honest. What's even better is they have an email, and for years I've been tempted to email them. Now you just watch British panel shows, the very height of entertainment. I listen to AM talk radio. So, you know, if you think you're boring, I probably win. Like, literally the past, like, 3 weeks of my life, when I'm not, like, editing or making content or outside on my bike or on a hike, has literally just been me repairing tape decks and listening to AM talk radio. Because I've collected a bunch of broken tape decks, and it's like, well, it's time for me to fix all these. This weekend is mostly going to be me disassembling one that I've decided to sacrifice for parts. I'll say this. The internet wasn't more innocent in the early days of the internet. However, the people on the internet were a lot more naive. I think there's a difference. Personally. And I don't think that the internet being less Wild Westy is a bad thing. However, if you still want the Wild West of the internet, it still exists. You can go live up that very similar feeling right now. You just need yourself an Onion browser, and you need to find yourself some deep websites. It's very similar to the way it was back in the day. Similarly dangerous, too. But, like, maybe don't do it on your computer. Get yourself a couple virtual machines. And a VPN. Yes, that's a given. And be very careful what you look at. It was also much less monetized. In some places, it was more monetized. Speak from experience. There's a lot of things that I know how to do that I don't. We'll put it that way. It's not the Wild West anymore, anywhere. Bet. I mean, sure, it's compromised, but you're saying that, like, the internet wasn't compromised in, like, the year 1999. Like, it's, like, you'd still get arrested for doing illegal shit, if that's what you're suggesting, naturally. But there still is crazy shit on the internet, is all I'm saying. And we're not talking about doing illegal shit. If you're saying it's compromised, then okay. I'm talking about finding, you know, the weird website that's just 98% skeleton GIFs. With somebody talking about, like, what they dreamed about last night in the random blog, and it's blinking, and for some reason, playing a remix of the Beastie Boys that, like, has loaded wrong, so it's, like, super distorted and screwed up sounding. Like, if we're just talking the crazy internet, then sure. That stuff still exists. If you're talking about, like, getting away with breaking the law on the internet, I mean, you can still do that, too. It's called the Pirate Bay. Sounds like your MySpace page? Yeah. Or your free website. But now the internet is centralized? Only if you choose to go to the centralized portions of the internet. right? Like that is a user's decision, right? You know what the funny thing about GeoCities is, as a kid, I always called it Geocities and didn't realize it was GeoCities until I became an adult. I just blurted it all together in one word. It was always Geocities to me. But yeah, I would say that's your decision, though, to go to the centralized portion of the internet. I mean, there's a lot of people in this chat room who very much live in the less centralized internet. I mean, that's not how I would spell Geocities, but it's more like Geo-OS cities is how I would say it. How long have I been streaming Dwarf Fortress full-time? I've been streaming full-time a lot longer than I've been streaming Dwarf Fortress. Streaming full-time since 2016. I've been streaming since 2013. Yeah, since 2013. And I started actively streaming Dwarf Fortress in 2017. Why do you have to go to the social networks? I literally, the only reason I use social media is because of this is my job. And even then, I'm outside of Discord, I barely use social media. Vast majority of the internet that I'm on my off days, maybe a bit of YouTube if I need it to find something, or I'm on like Hi-Fi Engine or like Discogs, or I'm like looking at somebody's private website selling record collections. You are a very, 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 very difficult person to converse with, Obstark. And also, what Frog said is very much true. It's not Frog's problem. I have a question. Are you being intentionally antagonistic, Dark? Or is this, like, just the way you speak? Because if it's just the way you speak, okay. But, like, you were very antagonistic. Well, you're not making your point. You're just kind of coming across as, like, a bit of a me, a bit of a loudmouth know-it-all, except you're not the one with the microphone. So all I see you doing is, like, insulting my regulars. You know, honestly, how it's made might be one of the greatest pieces of television ever created. Do 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 do, or however it goes. Welcome back, a curious maniac. It has a transplant and repotting day in the old maniac's house. Hey. Bought some grow lights. What are we replanting? All the vines are multiple meters long. I have 3 really, really big pothoses and or pathoses, or however you pronounce them. And I've seeded, or I've got 8 currently, about this tall, in pots that I'm taking from cuttings. I buy pot at the store up the street. It's easier than growing it, and doesn't smell. Because if you grow it, it's just gonna make your entire living space smell like pot. And I want my neighbors to not kill me. Love growing jalapenos. I'm growing 2 different types of hot peppers, but I just seed them and then give them to my mom, and she puts them in her greenhouse at my parents' house. Because it doesn't get hot enough here to grow those. Never noticed the smell from your ceramic pots? Definitely. No, growing weed is, like, annoyingly difficult, as somebody who's tried. Cheers, Nero Keys. Give hell if there are more accidental openings. I mean, we're making progress. We are making progress. Get off your ass and start planting a veggie garden this year. I don't know what temperature region you're in, but depending on what you want to plant and your accessibility to, or your ease of access to, like nurseries and places where you can buy stuff to grow. I'm not sure what that is, Walnut. You may or may not need to start seeding things sooner or later. Don't have enough to wager it. What? I mean, if you type in exclamation point tickets, I'll see how many you have. Did you lose a bunch? Also, what's up, Prismatic? It's good to see you. Hope you've been well. You have a green thumb, like a... You have a green thumb like a steer has balls. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you... Yeah, anyway. I will just reiterate, I don't really know what that means. We'll buy all this. I don't know what a steer is in this instance. What actually is a steer? Also, I think the green thumb is like, it's like anything. It's a skill that can be learned. If you have interest, it's not too hard to learn. Most people don't have interest, and that's okay. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I just learned something about cattle. We're gonna just buy... Speaking of balls, I'm gonna buy these balls. And these blades, because might as well. They're not too expensive, and can just toss them into the traps anyway. May as well also buy the anvils. And the foods. Etc. And there we go. You're in the southeast U.S., so pretty real warm here most of the year. You're probably honestly going to get already seeded plants from the nursery this year round. Just whatever you do, actually. So I mean, I would recommend West Coast Seeds because of where I am, but find your local nursery and go there regardless of the time of year. Because by around now, like mid-late winter, they usually start getting these, and sometimes early winter too. Little catalogs. Usually says everything that they have, or at least everything that they have in seeds. Go get one. Spent yours? Well, there you go. I mean, sometimes you just don't end up with that many. You recently did an interview for a promotion at work, waiting on results. Best of luck, dude. Yeah, but go to your local nursery and see if they have catalogs. Because, like, here, I'll show you the ones I have. Can't show you the other side of this because it'll dox me. Actually, I've got my address on it. But I can show you the inside. Things like this. Yeah, because I get mine in the mail, so. It's got my address on the front cover, but it's just like this kind of shit. But it's extraordinarily useful. It's got your pricing. It's got the amount of sun things need. It's got time of year to plant, temperatures to plant. Go find yourself one of those. Like, a lot of people use the internet for that kind of shit. When you're gardening, you're going to be outside. Your hands are going to be covered in dirt. You don't want to be using a smartphone. You just want one of those. You want yourself a magazine. I get mine from West Coast Seeds because they're local they're based around West Coast, and so all of their information is West Coast relevant information. Because, like, one of the hardest parts about getting into gardening, especially outdoor gardening, is knowing what time to plant something and then planting it correctly. And that varies and changes wildly based on your location. Spotted someone mean they've done something illegal? It means they're plotting to steal your stuff or trying to spot traps. Basically, someone's being sus. Likely planning something illegal. Probably hasn't done something illegal yet. Yeah, people who work at nurseries, it's kind of like people who work at video game stores, aside from that they don't generally get their souls sucked out of them as quickly. So people who work at nurseries tend to like working at nurseries and just want to talk to people about gardening. So people at nurseries are often very helpful when it comes to, you know, acquiring information, shall we say. Pausing all this. Keeping those running. Getting all that stuff paused. Seeing how this stuff's doing so much still. Oh boy. You like our plant talks? Plant talks are fun, yeah. I mean, I've got, in a day or so, I'm going to be able to harvest but probably about a dozen snap peas from my closet dirt, so I'm quite excited. Very much looking forward to my snap peas. The snap peas are like a lovely little addition to a salad or a stir fry, but I never actually buy them because they're like kind of too expensive. It's like, why would I buy snap peas? Closet dirt, yes. I just realized I haven't shared an updated photo of closet dirt in a while. I will snap a photo of my moist closet dirt and then I post it on Discord and show it. Everybody loves the moist closet dirt. I have so many weather warnings for torrential downpour for different places. I set weather alerts for places that I've been for things like heavy rain. I just got a rain alert for Las Vegas. What the fuck's going on? World must be ending. All right. Moist closet dirt. This is my closet. As you can see, I've got lettuce. It's a little on the leggy side, but that's okay. It'll be okay. We got lettuce, more lettuces. That's a pothos I'm trying to root. More lettuce, cactus, more lettuce, more lettuce. Random cacophony of bullshit that's gonna get uprooted soon and replaced with tomatoes. A snap pea plant that's kind of dying, and another snap pea plant that's kind of dying, and then a snap pea plant that's just sprouting, and a snap pea plant that's just sprouting. And then these are snow peas, which have gone all the way up to here. And in fact, you can see one. There's one. There you go, see? Snow pea. And then there's a couple more up there for snow peas. There's one in the middle here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. Uh-oh. Forgotten Beast Uspu is coming, towering beakless penguin. It has large mandibles and it is ravening. Its sandy top feathers are downy. Beware its poison vapors. Wear it. Now this one I could make fight hell. Is this gonna turn into a weed joke? Bunny rat? I can detect it from a mile away. It's 3 dots. See, seasoned weed smokers like myself, or should I just say fans of Draga 1, know that generally it's kind of redundant to try and grow weed in your closet. Because it takes so fucking long. You don't get a lot. Value for money's pretty bad. It smells really bad. What? Oh, did I have an artifact that I missed? Shit, I must have. Well, that's unfortunate. Kodal has gone berserk in front of a bunch of sheep with a spear. And, is getting bit by a rabbit. And a cavy boar. Chat, I'll have you know that the cavy boar scratched the recruit in the upper front teeth and the severed part sailed off in an arc. This cavy, Kogan, took out its tooth. Cavy boar bites the recruit in the left lower leg, but the attack was deflected by steel greaves, but the cavy boar latches on firmly. Get him! I love how there's just like a forgotten beast, like potentially walking into my fortress, and I'm paying attention to this dwarf that's like fighting with bunny rabbits. Cavy boar is shaking him. What? Hold on. Cavy boar bites the recruit in the head, tearing the muscle. Weaponsmith punches him. Force twists the neck, tearing the fat. Buck rabbit shakes the cavy around by the head. So there's a buck rabbit and a cavy that both bit it in the head, and they're shaking him around by the head. This is some strong bunnies. I mean, jeez. Please tell me. Damn it. I was sitting here hoping, I'm like, man, what if... I always agree, got the kill. Wouldn't that have been perfect? All right, is that where is the beastie at? That's a lot of naked Moldog pups. Oospoop. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think that recruit deserved to be in the military in the first place, so it's a non-issue. And I can turn these back on. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going there, beastie? Nowhere fast, that's for sure. You spent a lot of money on the setup, upgraded us to a small tent, carbon filters, etc. The best was 5 ounces of kush. I mean, it's not too bad. Not too bad. I don't have the space. I mean, I live in a like a 400 square foot, one person like suite basically. I live by myself in a very small apartment. I think that if I had a place with a garage, there is a world where I could see myself doing stuff like that. I don't live in that world. Also, wow, them demons and being enthusiastic. Dramatic slowdown, as we call this. If I can pause the game, I will just lock him out, because this is bad. This fort's like teetering on like frame rate hell. But yeah, no, the most I do is like growing tomatoes or starting tomatoes indoors. 0 frames per second, I suppose. I mean, it's not every day that you hear a man say, "Hey, smokers." Trouble. I watch his videos and so on. He hasn't uploaded a video in like 2 years, probably. I mean, when was the last Draga 1 upload? Uh, 1 year ago. Okay. He's uploaded 2 videos in 2 years. So... his most viewed video is installing Windows 98 on an SSD. This checks out. Dwarf Fortress decided to move yet? Nope. Okay, great. Although this creature somehow moved. Not sure how that's possible. It's the way that Roble spelled it. He is kind of old YouTube. He used to do... Here, I'll link Drago 1's channel. He's kind of old YouTube. He came from like weird tech / video game YouTube. And most of his most interesting videos are like trying to install like stupid, dumb operating systems mostly. Yeah, that's about it. And he, like I said, he does virus hunting too. If you look at his really old stuff, it's like a lot of really random wannabe big-time YouTuber videos, I guess. And then it's like, you know, like I said, installing Windows 98 on an SSD, you know? Like, normal people things. Can Windows 98 play Minecraft? Like, that sort of stuff. Apparently installed Windows 2000 on an SD card. Okay. You know, normal people thing. So, good news is the game is moving forward. Bad news is it's moving forward really slowly. I mean, like, the trapdoor is open now. Progress has happened. But the game is correct. It is moving at less than 1 frame per second. It's doing the thing now where it minimizes every time a frame moves forward, which means it's really having a hard time. I love it. It's a good day when Draga 1 uploads a... the FPS counter is just, it's in the settings. You can just go turn it on. It's in game settings, I think. Show FPS. But it's a good day when Draga 1 uploads a 2-hour-long video titled something along the lines of installing moronically stupid operating system here that shouldn't be installed on a modern computer, and it's 2 hours long. It starts off with a bong hit of him going, "Hey, smokers." It's like, yay, we're back. Nothing's changed. And then it's like one take. What's y'all's favorite YouTube niche? Oh, boy. Girl with the dogs? Wait, are we talking like historically favorite niche or like current? Because currently it's Girl with the Dogs and Girl with the Dogs 2. Hands down, no questions asked. I like watching that lovely lady groom puppy dogs. It makes me feel alive. But these days, or like traditionally, You know, you could probably say, I'm so angry at what's happening with insert any piece of software here, and there'd probably be something going on. But yeah, what's going on with VMware? I guess, like, the question is it's like, is there a YouTuber that never uploads stuff that you literally jump up and down when they start uploading again, or when they put out a video? I kind of do that whenever a Folding Ideas or, like, H-Bomber Guy video comes out. That's probably my biggest current YouTube niche. Speaking of dumb YouTube niches, Carl Jobs just uploaded a video. Sweet. I know what I'm doing tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Like, a lot of them just kind of end up being video games or video game adjacent. That's kind of the annoying bit, which is like, I guess it's a niche, but it's less of a niche because it's the niche that I operate in. I can't tab back to the game because I was skimming through YouTube stuff. Because frames are moving forward at a glacial pace, admittedly, I'm going to try and pause the game again. I'm currently clicking the pause button. You like primitive technology? I like primitive technology in theory. I don't like primitive technology because people try and do the primitive technology stuff in public parks here. And by public parks, I mean like provincial property, and it drives me nuts. There we go. Let's forbid this. Well, that's how far it made it. Not very. I mean, probably what ended up happening is every single demon and their mother was like, "Yo, let's go for a rock. Let's go for a run." Oh, this way. Oh God, I keep thinking that door's not a door. So now that gate's shut, is that gonna solve it? I think so. Is it still gonna? Oh, okay. Well, it went down to 15. Is it gonna go lower than 15? All right, we're good. We're good. I just needed to close that trapdoor, I think. So now we have to jump back to Uspu. I guess I have this problem with, like, YouTube niches these days, where a lot of the niches that I find myself watching are full of people I hate. Like, I really like gardening YouTuber, and it's annoyingly difficult to find a good gardening YouTuber that uploads consistently who isn't, like, kind of against everything I stand for politically. And it doesn't take that long to figure that out generally. And then it kind of sours me on them usually. Favorite YouTubes all only upload like one video a year. I can tell for a fact that I'm not one of your favorite YouTubers then. I'm not going to go just like outing people, but you named one of them. Falcon. Fair enough. The thing is, I'm one of those people that's just like a constant. Like, I'm never going to end up being somebody's, air quotes, favorite YouTuber because people aren't going to do a backflip when I upload a video. But I'm just kind of always there. Sorry about that. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to just like out people because like that's kind of just starting shit for no reason, but and also that's fair that you didn't watch the 7-hour tutorial. I mean, it's not anything new. It's literally just a compilation of the shorter ones. It's also my highest earning video this like the latter half of last year, which is kind of crazy to me. That was a great binge. Oh, that's actually a good you like YouTube niche is Leafy Street. Go look up. He's like the how-to basic of like reptile breeding. Because it's got a lot of like what the fuck what did you just say kind of humor to it. Where it's like really interesting instructional videos on like reptile breeding and then just like suddenly like there's just a hand out of nowhere petting something completely irrelevant and then like a person flies through a window. It's like what is happening? But it's entertaining. Did you just kill something? Killed a rabbit? You're fighting with the Forgotten Beast. Fighting with the Phantom of Snow. Phantom of Snow kicks the Forgotten Beast. Fracturing the bone. Oh, wow. Forgotten Beast is already, like, dying. It's just gonna die to the first one it runs into. Runs into the Phantom of Snow. And Phantom of Snow is largely fine from what I can tell. Not really taking too much damage. Yeah, the Phantom of Snow kicks the Forgotten Beast in the first foot. Jamming the false ribs through the heart. Oh, how hard do you need to kick somebody in a foot to jam it all the way back up through their ribs, crushing the heart? I have a question. Have you watched early how-to basic videos? Because they ain't quality, and it doesn't take a long time for him to turn into violent art pieces. At this point, how-to basic is just performance art, though. What? How does that happen? Kicks the Forgotten Beast in the upper body with their right first foot, bruising the muscle and jamming the left false ribs through the heart. It makes you gag. That's fair. Never said they were good. Yeah, how-to basic is a guilty pleasure of mine. I just want the how to make ramen video is a genuinely good art film. Oh, actually, my favorite YouTube rabbit hole is very, very simple. Favorite YouTube niche. Yes, I like Techmoan too. VOS Life is better. All right. Well, now that that beastie's dead, hopefully my frame rate will return slightly. Snobby European shitting on American civil infrastructure? I'm gonna say, you're not just thinking not just bikes, are you? Oh, Adam something. Yeah, I like Adam something. Adam something's fun. Snobby European. I'm sitting there like, that's not just bikes is Canadian. Oh, you're thinking Adam something, right? It's funny because like I don't think of Adam something as like infrastructure videos. I think of him as politics videos, but that's because like he started doing the infrastructure stuff relatively recently because of his Dubai video that blew up. I still think of him as like political commentary, I guess is the easiest way to put it. But I sometimes miss his videos. Like I don't actually watch his stuff that often, so. Another good YouTuber is Jamie Lee when it comes to like architecture and like talking about infrastructure and stuff. I ran into her at the movie theater here because apparently she lives here, and it was a really strange afternoon because I was going to go see John Wick, the movie theater, got off the train, was walking towards the movie theater, and I saw this weirdly large crowd of people, like, bundled in, like, a huge circle, and like, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Take my head, like, my one earbud out, and I just hear people screaming that YouTuber's name, saying, I love your videos! I'm like, what? Oh, okay, neat. Anyway, walked past. Just one more lane. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta go to bed. We'll see you when we see you. Oh, here's another really good YouTube niche. Dad talks about his record collection. Particularly good YouTube niche. The problem is you really got to avoid the annoyingly big channels that are all about, like, sponsors and shit. You got to find the real guys who actually give a shit about the stuff they're talking about, and that's how you find the good stuff. Metal Theologian is the name of that channel. Chat plays Pokemon. The funniest thing to me about Twitch plays Pokemon is that like the number of people that assume that plays Pokemon or plays or Twitch plays or whatever will work for any franchise out there. There are some people who just seem to think that it'll work for literally any franchise in existence. No, it won't. Stop thinking it will. You are very wrong. And that's very funny to me. So all of these demons are just like dogpiling up here right now because of that Forgotten Beast. Which is why the frames is so bad. So I'm going to open this and say, go get him, champ. What are you? You're the Forgotten Beast, Gimish the Molten. I know that he was made of salt. Let me tell you this. There's been, in the time that I've streamed Dwarf Fortress, so since 2017, 2018-ish, more later in the 2018, I have seen 4 Twitch Plays Dwarf Fortresses. Not one of them was even remotely successful. So that's the last Forgotten Beast I had, guys. There was an adventure mode focused one. There was one that launched with the Steam version. There was multiple different ones that weren't really Twitch plays, but they used the DF hack AI stuff to make the game play itself, which was admittedly kind of interesting for a bit. But, like, mostly interesting because you'd, like, pop in, name a dwarf, and then, like, 12 hours later, pop back in and then find that dwarf dead as a ghost, just like floating around. But, Dratkun, thank you very much for the Prime sub for a second month. Welcome back. But yeah, basically, like, nobody watched any of them, so none of them lasted particularly long. Many people tried, but none of them lasted for an even remotely extended period of time. So at that point, why even bother? Should head out as well. Yeah, it's getting kind of late and the frame rate's kind of low. All right, well, we are going to continue the besieging of hell. But chat room, I think it... Thanks for the $1. Thanks for the first notification of money outside of that resub for 2 minutes ago. The first bits in 8 hours. And for the first notification of monies since 2 hours ago. Thank you. All right, chat room. I think it's time for us to call it for the day. I mean, stuff got out, stuff got everywhere, bits and pieces were flown around. I am going to keep this fort going. This fort's probably going to keep going for a while because, honestly, I would like to defeat hell, and I think we can do it with this setup. It's just going to, like I said, take a while, right? Death Bagel as well. Thank you very much for that brand new Prime subscription. Appreciate you. And Robo, thanks for the $1.85. Appreciate you. Just realized you had Twitch Prime. If you have Twitch Prime, chat, use it as much as possible before December because they're getting regional, or not in December, before June 3rd, because they are getting regional pricing after June 3rd and won't be worth as much to like almost anywhere. Even the US ones are going to be worth like 15 cents less or something, which is okay because Twitch is doing a lot to help us make more money in other ways, such as making it easier for people to get better splits on normal subs. But just keep that in mind. If you do use Twitch Prime, use it now while you have it, because like, as an example, somebody from Turkey is going to give me like 6 cents or something for a Prime subscription. So we are going to save here, and we're going to shut the YouTube stream down. YouTube, you're hanging out. Thank you much for hanging out. You're lovely. And if you'd like to raid with us, hop over onto the Twitch side of things. We'll be live tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, same time, same channel, for more of that fresh new fort. And a new game in the evening. And for us over here on Twitch chat room, well, not running off just yet, because first I have to wait for the hype train to end. But what I gotta say is, I just found a button I never noticed before on the YouTube page. We're gonna raid somebody, so stick around, and let's send some love over to somebody who deserves it, shall we? But chat room, thank you much for that hype train. It does mean a lot. I'm gonna go get the raid music going, I think, and I'll just start the record a couple minutes earlier in the record so we can hear a little bit more of the record. That works for you guys.